If you have ever had your home broken into, you know the dreadful feeling, especially if you are at home at the time. It happened to me several times, but one time was particularly unnerving. That was many years ago when I was a young priest in the Hood. It was late at night, long past my bedtime, and I should have been long asleep. But my luck was that I had an out-of-town visitor, and he and I were still awake in that dark house in front of the television, watching a video of an opera. I still remember it was La Bohème, and we were watching Mimi's long death scene. People take a long time to die in operas. As we were enjoying her beautiful singing, unbeknownst to us, several men were up to no good outside the house. They cut the lock to the parking lot across the street where they hid their getaway vehicle. Quietly, they unscrewed all the light bulbs outside so that all was in total darkness. They cut the padlock on the cellar door so they could get in to where the phone lines were, and they cut all the lines so I would not be able to call for help. That was before the days of cell phones. Of course, they were expecting to find me alone and sleeping in my bedroom, but there we were in the living room watching poor Mimi die. My friend said, "I hear a noise. Let's go see what it is." I said, "No, in this part of town you hear noises all the time. Let poor Mimi die in peace." A moment later he said, "No, there is definitely somebody at the back door." So I put Mimi on pause, and we went to the back door. Just as we got there, the door swung open and two men in black stocking masks came in. They were startled to see that I was awake, and they were even more surprised to see that there were two of us in the house. They took off running, dropping the cutters, the crowbar, and even the can of ether they had apparently been planning to use on me. Since I was young and brash and foolish in those days, now I'm just foolish, I took off running after them. Of course, they were fully dressed for running, and I was barefoot, so I didn't catch up with them. That's probably a good thing. To my shock, the detectives determined that these were not robbers. This was a hired hit team. If they had found me asleep in my bed as expected, I probably would not be here today telling you this story. Many things went through my head that night, but the words of Jesus kept coming back to me, words which have spoken to me powerfully ever since. If the master of the house had known the hour when the thief was coming, he would not have let his house be broken into. You also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come. None of us knows what day will be our last day on earth. The only certain thing is that one day will be. I knew that Mimi was dying that night, as she had died thousands of times on hundreds of stages for 100 years. What I did not know was that my own death was also being prepared just outside my door. Isn't it always?